I, 27 male, have loved making stuff since I was a kid, and I've worked with everything from wood to paint, welding, and even fabric, which is what this situation is about. I made my wife's dress since she couldn't find one that fit her style, and our budget. It wasn't my first time making clothes, but I certainly wasn't an expert, nor am I now for that matter. However, the dress turned out amazing, and everyone complimented it on our wedding day. Most were surprised I was the one who made it, but my sister-in-law, Sarah, 25, was extremely put off when she found out. She took my wife aside during the reception to ask if she was really okay marrying a guy who made dresses, and apparently made some awful remarks. My wife told me all this the day after. Ever since, Sarah's been cold to me and treats me like I have the plague. Like she isn't outright mean, but she doesn't talk directly to me aside from pleasantries. It kind of hurts, but whatever. I don't generally see her since she lives in another state. Sarah recently got engaged to her boyfriend of 3 years and asked me to make her a dress. I have made wedding dresses for a few friends and a couple of my wife's cousins, but I don't really want to make one for her. She offered to pay me for my work, but that's not the issue. It feels like she likes my work but doesn't respect me. Heck, even disrespects me for making dresses. I told her this, and that I knew about the remarks she made on my wedding day, and she got mad, saying I'm being an idiot for holding something that happened years ago over her. I brushed it off, but my wife's family is hounding me about it, saying I shouldn't deny her the dress when I've done it for the other family members. I came here because my dad told me I was being an idiot and to just take the money. My wife supports me no matter what I decide. Am I the idiot for refusing to make my sister-in-law a wedding dress? Not the idiot. OMG, OP, please don't do this. She's already standoffish and disdains you. She's going to be a nightmare. She's the type to work with you, agree on a design, let you do the mock-up, then tell you 3 weeks later that she has a different vision. Rinse, lather, repeat, followed by crocodile tears about you ruining the most important day of her life because you refused to listen to what she wanted. Tell the people harassing you to chip in and pay someone else. Her idiocy, and that of everyone enabling her, is infuriating to my little seamstress heart. Right? I deserve to have this $20,000 designer dress, but can't afford it. Surely someone can make an exact replica for me out of this thrift store dress and $15 for extra supplies. Of course, she probably has no idea on what a tailor-made wedding dress cost. I would stay away from that mess and let the woman find her own wedding dress. Have you seen the meme with a picture of a very elaborate, Cinderella-esque ballroom gown with the text, "Can you make this for me if I buy the materials?" All sister-in-law needs to do is hire some magic mice. Witchity-crotchety-poo. Oh man, the point is materials aren't crap without the person's time and energy to make it happen. So you're right. OP, you owe her nothing. And your family needs to understand that what Sarah thinks about you and what she said to your wife was unacceptable. I'm nuclear. I'd literally make a Facebook post spilling everything and lamenting the nerve and audacity she has to come back after no apology in years. No dress for Sarah the bully. Personally, I'd book yourself and your wife a vacation away the day of the wedding if I were you. If you were so inclined, take the estimate for the dress, multiply by 3, and that's what you tell her. It's your, I don't want to do it, but I will if you show me the money price. Make sure you include the cost of the fabric, notions, wear and tear on your machines, and a living wage by the hour for yourself. Payment in full up front before a single stitch of yard or fabric is ordered. Not sure where you're based, but in my region, that would put the cost of the dress up around $30,000. For $30,000, I'd make my worst enemy a dress. I might hand-stitch tiny curses into the seams, but I'd do the dress, pocket the money, and laugh all the way to an awesome vacation. Good luck in whatever you decide. My younger sister, 25 female, is getting married. She asked our dad to walk her down the aisle and dance with her at the wedding. My mom and stepdad were hoping she would have both dad and stepdad do these things, because stepdad has been in her life since she was 4 and I was 6. Apparently, Mom asked her, and my sister said it felt like it was a better idea to have Dad do it. Mom asked her why, and she said it was because he was her dad. Mom tried to convince my dad to tell my sister she should have both fathers do it, and that he would be honored to share the role with the man who stepped up for us during Mom's parenting time, 50-50 timeshare when we were kids. She apparently told Dad all the stuff that stepdad had done over the years and how he loves us like we're his kids, but has always been second to him, Dad. Dad told her he was not going to encourage my sister to do that, and she'd made her decision. When Mom couldn't get Dad on board, she asked me to talk to my sister and convince her. I heard all about how much stepdad has done for us, but especially my sister, who doesn't remember a life without him in it. And yet she's always acted like she only has one dad and not two. She said it would be a beautiful gift for my stepdad for me to try, and she knows that deep down, my sister doesn't want to upset our dad, and she would probably have asked both if it wasn't a concern. She said as the big brother, she felt like I was the next best person to have this talk with her. I told my mom this was not my place, and I was not interfering. She told me I should want my sister to have the perfect wedding, and that this would make the wedding extra special, having both dads by her side as she walks to her future husband. She said it was my place, and pointed out how, as her brother, it is 100% my place. I told her who my sister walks down the aisle with or dances with is absolutely none of my business, because my sister is a grown woman, and I will not interfere in this. Mom got so mad at me, and she said I could have done this for them, aka her and my stepdad. She also said I was making excuses because I could get involved if I wanted to. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Of course you could choose to get involved. Busybodies stick their noses in other people's business all the time. You're choosing to stay out of this, and that's a wise choice. Your mom doesn't want the day to be extra special for your sister by involving your stepdad. Mom wants stepdad to be involved to make it special for her and stepdad, not your sister. Well done, big brother, for keeping out of it. Stay the course. Your mom seems manipulative and narcissistic. How's she just gonna trample all over your sister's decision on her wedding day? How's she trying to recruit others to help try and change the bride's mind? She doesn't get to decide this. Just tell her that nothing about this would be special for anyone at this point, as it's just straight up manipulation. Your sister didn't choose your stepdad and would only do so because she was bullied into it. I'm sure your stepdad wouldn't appreciate that. My wife, 37, and I, 40 male, got married 12 years ago, and she's been my rock, and our marriage has been really good. Or used to be really good before we went to therapy. My friend was suffering from a lot of mental health issues, and we were worried for him. He went to therapy for about 2 years and is doing a lot better. My wife suffered from anxiety and depression, and she's a vet, which is a very high-stress job. I recommended she try therapy too, and she agreed. She went to therapy for 6 months, and she likes it and wanted me to go with her. I personally find it a little hippy-dippy, but it couldn't hurt, so I agreed. First 2 therapy appointments went well. The therapist, not her personal one, nailed down one thing about my wife. She is extremely distrusting of other humans. She didn't have a good family growing up, and her father sold her dog, which she said was her only friend, and she suffered from an eating disorder and almost ended it in her teens. But as an adult, she's relatively well-adjusted, and she's a great mom to our 2 kids. He asked us to do the Big 5 personality test as homework. It was a long questionnaire, and we shared it with him. My trust of others was a 34, and hers was an 8, which is very low. He asked her to tell him what makes her distrust people. She said people were very two-faced and only do what benefited them, and she felt like she had a disadvantage in life because of her morals. She's very kind to people, which is weird because she doesn't trust them at all. She helps people a lot, and one of her friends even said she's the one they go to for advice because they know she wants the best for them and can keep a secret. She does a lot of unpaid work to help stray animals, and is often depressed if an animal passes away. She says she does it because she feels extreme guilt if she doesn't help others. However, she feels people don't feel any guilt if they hurt her, which is why she prefers animals to humans. Then the topic of our marriage and trust came up, and she was super tight-lipped about it at first, but then admitted she didn't trust me that much. She said she actually married me because I was honest and being kind of in it for myself. She said she can't stand people who appear kind and compassionate and then lie and backstab, and prefers an honest person. I was shocked because I feel like I'm an honest person, but also kind and a generous person. But in her eyes, I'm not. She says it's fine because I'm honest about it. She also admitted she took out the in sickness and in health part of our nuptials because she felt like I would divorce her if she got cancer. She said she was okay with that because it would kill her to expect my support and then be disappointed when she didn't receive it. However, she knew where she stood with me. I've been thinking about her words and it bothers me so much. I asked her out of therapy why she even married me, and she said she knew I was hardworking and honest, and most people are not kind, but that they fake kindness to get ahead. She liked that I didn't, and she felt like she really understood me, so she felt safe with me. I told her if she didn't think I was a good person, but just an honest one, we should just divorce. And she got mad and told me our marriage was good. We worked together well, raising our kids, and there wasn't anything serious. To me, I just realized my wife didn't think I was a good person, and I feel like our marriage has been a lie. Am I the idiot for wanting a divorce because of what my wife said in therapy? Edit. I definitely love her, but in therapy, she said she thinks she loves me, but also admitted she doesn't know if she can love humans, as humans are generally selfish, destructive, and will take advantage of people weaker than themselves. I'm really worried about whether she loves our kids. She acts like she does, but it's hard to tell because she goes above and beyond for people she worries will backstab her. This honestly sounds above her actual therapist's pay grade. I think you might need to get your own therapist, independent of your wife, ASAP. I don't think it's that your wife doesn't think you're a good person. I think it's that your wife doesn't think there are any good people, but thinks that you're better than most. Given your wife's view of humanity, that seems to be a compliment. Yeah, the entire time through reading this, I read nothing but praise for him. OP, your wife, she isn't ever going to trust anyone the normal way people mean trust. She's trying to tell you, she's literally offering you as much trust as she's capable of. She's trying to demonstrate in front of a respected third party how much thought and effort went into choosing to take a risk anyway. The real takeaway here are that she's being open and honest in an environment with a therapist and OP, which requires an enormous amount of trust. If she genuinely didn't trust OP, she wouldn't have even been willing to say that. And as hard as it was to hear, it was likely just as hard to say it. Your wife seems to have a very distorted view of people born out of a trauma response. This in itself is incredibly hard to navigate, particularly in relationships. I don't envy her. Yeah, I suspect there is a part of her that knows that this could end with him leaving her. There is a certain type of security that comes with sabotaging your own relationship when you can later say, I knew it. I don't mean to suggest that she's consciously planning this, but rather that she seeks the familiar by repeating her own past trauma. I come from a family of very hairy and very fair-skinned women. The hair is thick and very dark. Hair removal has always been a common topic of discussion amongst us throughout our lives. Many of my aunts, siblings, and cousins have spent tons on laser hair removal over the years. And when I say hairy, I mean facial hair, back hair, stomach hair, which would be more common in your average man. My youngest sister is your crunchy granola mom, an all-natural type. She doesn't shave, thinks it's a double standard, and hypocritical. All bodies are beautiful, all that stuff. And I support her in that. Be happy in your own skin. Well, I don't care much about it. and I only shave on special occasions. I'm also very well aware of how cruel kids can be, as I experienced a ton of bullying throughout my life for it, and it took me well into adulthood to get comfortable with it. My sister's daughter, teen, has the hairy gene, and I suspect possibly some kind of hormonal issue. As a young teen, she had extensive facial hair, including from her chin to her neck, thicker in some spots than your average arm hair. My sister allows her to shave only from the knee down. She'll also shave her face, but she tends to get razor burn in a 5 o'clock shadow. My sister refuses to allow her to waste money on satisfying society's unfair beauty standards. Anyway, my niece asked me to take her. She says she's bullied constantly at school, and she's super self-conscious. She was crying as she told me about it. She even once got chemical burns on her face after sneaking out of her friend's mom's bathroom in the middle of the night and trying to use depilatory cream. I asked my sister if I could take my niece to get waxed, and she said no, and went on about how I shouldn't be forcing my beauty standards on her daughter. I actually don't personally care what she does about it. Still, she was struggling with it. So when she asked again, because she had her first high school dance coming up, and she wanted to look normal, her words, I took her to get waxed without telling my sister. She obviously lost her temper with me, saying I overstepped, and I had no right to overrule her as a parent. I told her, letting her daughter be miserable so she could prove a point to society made her a bad mom. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. As a formerly hairy teenager, I wish someone had done this for me. In my case, it wasn't a crunchy granola mom. It was a conservative mom who didn't want me to grow up too fast. Which, biology doesn't care what you want, Mom. Puberty is here in all of its hairy glory. Another concern was that I wanted to shave to attract boys, when in reality, the whole reason I wanted to shave was because of the girls, because they were the only ones who noticed my hair, pointedly. Ah, conservative moms. Mine once wouldn't let me get a bath candle because she thought it would lead me to getting pregnant. Her logic was that candles in the bathroom are romantic and would put me in a mood, making me want intimacy. I just wanted the candle because the lights in our bathroom hurt my eyes when I sat in the tub. She got a lot better about that nonsense as she got older. Like pregnant with the baby Jesus from a candle ghost that appeared because you got in the mood? Good old conservative education. OP, continue helping your niece feel pretty. We're not our parents, and she deserves every chance to avoid childhood trauma. Your sister's forcing her beauty standards on her daughter. Mid-teens is old enough to make decisions about your appearance. Imagine not having any feelings about your daughter being bullied in school. Does she even understand the statistics of kids her age self-editing? Your sister needs to pull her head out of her butt and understand it's not about her or her views. It's about her daughter. Also, your niece needs to get checked for PCOS. I had excessive hair growth that's gone away now that I'm on the pill. Personally, I think you did right by your niece. Screw your sister's feelings. No offense. You're trying to make her life a little easier in one of the most difficult times in her life.